Good evening and welcome to NFL Trending. I'm Roger, bringing you the latest breaking developments from the Cleveland Browns camp, where quarterback Shedeur Sanders has become the center of attention yet again. The story tonight? Reports confirm that Sanders was never considered to enter the Browns' Week 6 loss, despite the team's offensive struggles. It's a revelation that has many fans asking the same question: what exactly is going on with the Browns' quarterback situation? The Cleveland Browns fell 23-9 to the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 6, marking one of the team's more frustrating offensive performances of the season. Rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel started the game, throwing 52 passes for just 221 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. He was under pressure throughout, taking multiple sacks and struggling to find rhythm against a fierce Steelers defense. Many assumed at some point the Browns might turn to Shedeur Sanders, the high-profile rookie out of Colorado and son of NFL legend Deion Sanders. But that never happened, and according to head coach Kevin Stefanski, it was never even discussed. When asked after the game whether he had considered giving Sanders a chance under center, Stefanski's response was direct: "No." There was no hesitation, no qualifying statement, and no mixed messaging. Stefanski made it clear that Gabriel was his quarterback for that game from start to finish. That simple answer, however, carries big implications for how the Browns view their quarterback room moving forward. The decision not to consider Sanders, even in a losing effort, says a lot about where Cleveland believes he is in his development. Sanders had just been elevated to the number 2 quarterback spot following the trade that sent veteran Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals. Many thought that move meant Sanders was ready to compete for live snaps, but Stefanski and his coaching staff clearly see things differently. Despite the backup promotion, Sanders remains a long-term project in their eyes, not an immediate solution. To understand the Browns' thinking, let's rewind a bit. When Cleveland traded Joe Flacco earlier in the week, they cleared space on the active roster and promoted Sanders from the practice squad. It was the logical next step for the young quarterback, one that positioned him as the official backup for the first time this season. But Stefanski was cautious from the start. During his pregame press conference, he declined to guarantee Sanders a spot on the active roster and said he wanted to see how the week plays out. That hesitation proved telling. By kickoff, Sanders was suited up and listed as the number 2 quarterback. Yet, as the game unfolded and Gabriel struggled, there were no sideline huddles, no headset handoffs, and no signs of Sanders warming up. The coaching staff stayed the course, believing continuity, even in a loss, was more important than a mid-game switch that could disrupt offensive rhythm. Stefanski's message after the game made it clear: this wasn't about punishing Sanders or favoring Gabriel. It was about sticking to a plan of gradual development. Still, for many Browns fans, that explanation falls short. The offense was stagnant. Gabriel looked rattled, and the offensive line couldn't hold. Many felt it was the perfect opportunity to give Sanders a short taste of NFL action, a chance to see how the young quarterback would respond under pressure. But Stefanski's approach is rooted in patience. The Browns have invested heavily in building a system that develops quarterbacks slowly, prioritizing readiness over reaction. And for now, that means Shedeur Sanders is being protected, not ignored. Behind the scenes, sources within the organization say the coaching staff has been impressed with Sanders' work ethic and grasp of the playbook. He's spent countless hours learning the Browns' offense, adapting from the wide-open, high-tempo college system he ran under his father, Deion Sanders, at Colorado. NFL coaches have noted his strong arm, composure, and intelligence, but also emphasized that transitioning from college to the NFL is a major leap, especially for a quarterback who's still adjusting to the speed, complexity, and physicality of the pro level. Sanders, for his part, has handled the situation publicly with calm and professionalism. He hasn't complained about playing time or questioned the staff's decision-making. Instead, he's echoed what his father always preached: patience, preparation, and persistence. Those close to him say he's using every week as an opportunity to learn from film sessions, study defenses, and improve in practice. But make no mistake, Shedeur Sanders is a competitor. He's used to being the focal point, the leader, the man under center when games are on the line. Sitting and waiting isn't something he enjoys. For him, this backup role is temporary, and his goal remains clear: to earn that starting job when the time is right. The Browns organization, however, wants to make sure that when that moment arrives, he's fully ready to seize it. From a broader perspective, the Browns' quarterback situation has been one of the most discussed topics in the league this season. The team's decision to part ways with Flacco left them with two rookies, Gabriel and Sanders, as their main options. That's a rare scenario in the NFL, where experience usually reigns supreme at the most important position. Cleveland is clearly betting on the future, hoping that one of these young quarterbacks develops into their long-term answer. Right now, they believe Gabriel deserves more time to prove himself, and that Sanders' turn will come later. For now, the key word surrounding Sanders is development. Coaches say he's making steady progress in practice, but still needs to adjust to timing windows, pre-snap reads, and defensive disguises at the NFL level. The Browns' offensive coordinator noted earlier this week that they've been pleased with his growth, emphasizing that the team has a structured plan for Sanders' involvement moving forward. What could that plan look like? Insiders believe the Browns want to give Sanders live reps in controlled situations, perhaps late in games or in specific packages, before giving him a full start. It's a cautious, deliberate approach, but one that has worked for young quarterbacks in the past. Still, the NFL is a results-driven league, and patience only lasts so long. If the Browns continue to lose and their offense struggles, the pressure to play Sanders will intensify. For now, Sanders remains focused on controlling what he can. Sources close to him say he's confident in his abilities and believes his time will come soon. He's aware that the Browns fan base is eager to see what he can do, but he's resisting the temptation to rush the process. In his own words earlier this month, he said, "You can't force greatness. You prepare for it, and when the time comes, you're ready." That mindset could serve him well as he continues to bide his time. Week may 6 not have featured Shedeur Sanders on the field, but his presence, or rather his absence, was one of the biggest storylines of the game. The Browns' decision not to consider him wasn't a slight. It was a statement about their long-term commitment to doing things the right way. Whether that approach pays off remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: Shedeur Sanders' moment is coming. It's just a matter of when. This is NFL Trending. I'm Roger. Stay tuned for more updates, analysis, and breaking news from around the league.